Hi, a few people have told me how money shame shows up for them. The fact that when they imagine having money with them, they are filled with a lot of shame, and then there is this discomfort which shows up in the body. And I wanted to do a tapping exercise, a short one that you can use. Probably many of you can use in order to work with the shame that comes while imagining having money, right? So let's do this tapping. Even though I feel a lot of shame when I imagine myself with money, even though the shame takes all over my body, even though I feel deep amount of shame when I imagine myself with money, I still choose to deeply and completely love myself. Even though I have a lot of shame around money, shame that I have not processed, shame that I have not digested, shame that comes up even with the imagination of money. This shame, I don't even know if this shame is mine to begin with. The shame that I feel when I imagine having money. This shame that I'm not quite sure if it is mine. The shame around money. The shame about money. Shame that comes up when I imagine having money. Shame that shows up with money. I still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I experience a lot of shame, even with the idea of receiving money, maybe from a client, maybe someone who owes me, maybe by asking people the money for the value I offer, I feel a lot of shame. I wonder whose shame is this? I wonder if the shame is truly mine. This shame that I don't know which is mine or not. The shame that I feel but I'm not quite sure is mine or not. The shame related to money. I wonder who does this belong to? The shame that comes with money. Every time I ask money, receive money, imagine having money, the shame shows up. The shame shows up in my body. I wonder if it had a color, what color would it be? If it had a shape, what shape would it be? If it had a form, what form would it be? And you may actually go ahead and imagine a form, imagine a shape, imagine a color, and see where in the body you feel this shame. Right? You don't have to stop the tapping. Just feel where in the body you feel. Even though I have the shame in my body, the shame that doesn't allow me to come out fully the way I want into the world, the shame that only shrinks me, the shame that limits my growth and potential, the shame that makes me feel so restricted. Even though the shame makes me small and restricted, even though the shame makes me shrink and limited, this shame that I feel makes me small and limited. The shame in my body, shrinking me, making me small, taking away my potential. The shame that I feel that makes me small, play small, do less, go into my shell. I still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though this shame that I was not born with, I was never born with this shame. I was never born with the idea or awareness of money. It came much later into my life, and today I live with the shame. Today it resides in my body. Today this shame has a house in my body. Even though I let the shame stain my body, even though I have made this shame a reality for myself, even though I've made the shame so vital to my existence, this shame that is important and vital to me, this shame that I carry around with me, this shame that I have somehow learned to associate with money, with receiving, which is supposed to be a beautiful thing. This shame that I have learned, absorbed, picked up from I don't know who, and I've made it mine. I still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And maybe suppose somehow, the shame was not even mine to begin with. Suppose somehow it belonged to someone else. Suppose somehow no one's shame ever belonged to them. Suppose somehow shame had the ability or shame had the nature to come from somewhere else, somewhere outside, somewhere external. Suppose somehow I may have simply borrowed it or bought it. Suppose somehow I could let go of it because it is not mine. Suppose somehow I could let go of all the other feelings which I have borrowed in the process of observing money, feeling money, having money in my life, and shame was just a part of it. Suppose somehow by letting go of the shame, I could be completely myself. Suppose somehow by giving up the shame, I could simply go back to loving myself exactly as I wanted. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Every time I let go of this shame, I am more in love with myself. Every time I let go of the shame, I become more and more myself. Every time I simply breathe out the shame, I just feel more and more great about who I am, who I truly am. The more I give up the shame, the more visible I become to the world. The more I allow the shame to rest in peace, the more people love me for who I am. The more I'm able to acknowledge the shame and return it to whoever it belongs to, I am wanted by people. I'm more visible. I show up in the world exactly as I am. I am aware of my inherent value. I am able to love the world as it is, and I am able to love myself as I am. The more I give up the shame, the more I become open to love from all the people who are watching me here. I am deeply loved. I am respected. I am honored for who I am. Money only enhances that true nature of mine. The more I become myself, the more money shows up. And the more money shows up, the more I can be myself. The more money shows up, the more I can be myself. The more money shows up, I have opportunities and choices to be myself. Shame was then, money is now. Shame was then, money is now. Shame was then, receiving is now. Shame was back then a backstory, and today I'm open to receiving. I love and accept myself. I love and accept myself. I love and accept myself. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I so love and accept myself. I love and accept myself deeply and completely. I just love and accept myself as I exactly am. I just love and accept myself. I love and accept myself deeply and completely. Thank you so much.